Thank you, Lindley. Welcome, everyone, here in the physical sanctuary and on Zoom. Let's greet one another. People here can wave at the faces camera on the left. Folks on Zoom, you can unmute and say hi and wave into your own camera. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome. Is there anyone visiting for the first or second time or returning after a long absence who would like to introduce themselves so we may especially welcome you? We'll start here in the building, ask that you stand as willing and able, and someone will bring you a microphone. John?
Good morning. How's everybody today? Very grand. I'm John McDonagh, the significant. Anyways, thank you for inviting me. Anyways, have a grand afternoon.
Anyone else here or on Zoom?
Yeah, I have my brother here visiting from out of town. I'll let him introduce himself.
Howdy there, Elliot Heigert here, living in Fort Collins, Colorado. Really excited to be here with you all today.
Welcome.
And now for our opening hymn, number 361 in the Great Hymnal, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Words will be up here.
Joyful
Very nice. And now Donnie Rhett will do our land acknowledgement.
We acknowledge that Hayward, California is Ohlone land, and that for thousands of years, this land was inhabited by people who lived here peacefully and cared for the land in a way that honored all that was here before us. We hope that we can amplify that truth and learn from the Ohlone people what it means to be stewards of this beautiful land and to be inspired to form meaningful relationships, working to protect this sacred land, repair injustices, and move forward together in honorable ways.
Thank you, Donnie. Now for the chalice lighting. Thank you, Levon. By Reverend Paul Sprecher. We light this chalice for the web of life which sustains us, for the sacred circle of life in which we have our being, for the earth, the sky, above and below, and for Mother Earth, and for the mystery. Our next hymn is number 298 in the gray hymnal. Wake now my senses. Beautiful, thank you. Our family ministry time is coming up in a minute or two, so this is a good time to gather the little ones. For our call to worship, I'll read a poem by Laura Wallace called The Determined Seed. As frozen earth holds the determined seed, this sacred space holds our weariness, our worry, our laughter, and our celebration. Let us bring seed and soul into the light of thought, the warmth of community, and the hope of love. Let us see together, hear together, love together. Let us worship together. Today, we're celebrating the birth of the United Nations back in 1945, an evolutionary leap in global cooperation and global problem solving. The UN has created such landmark contributions toward climate justice and sustainability as the IPCC, or Intergovernmental Commission on Climate Change, the Intergovernmental Commission on Climate Change. Yes, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Very crucial report warning us that we have about 12 years to get our act together. And also the COP15 Paris Climate Accord, which we've been in and out of, as every country in the world agreed to cooperate to solve the problem. Children should be here now. As I'm sure Levon let them know. Intergovernment, say that 5 times fast. Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Very important report. My 5th graders are writing a book on solving climate change. Come on in. It will be published within a week or 2 in hardcover. 11 copies have been ordered so far. Yes, it's going to be good.
Okay, everybody. Woo. Here we come. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So my friends, I brought my basket. Could you set up the carpet for me, please? Just open it up, Leah, and put it in the middle and they can help set it. I need your help. Set up our carpet, please. Or just put the basket in the middle. And they can dig through. Yeah. Help me set up, please. You guys help set up? All right. And we will have a hand mic. We have a hand mic, Lavon? Yeah. Okay, right now, good morning, everybody. We had a lot of fun in their new toys. Oh boy. So take a candle, please. Drake has a pretend microphone right now. Wait till he gets, woohoo. Leah. No, no. Okay. Dudes. Two shoes. Oh, Drake, please, that's hilarious. Okay. That's a funny joke, a very funny joke. Okay, everybody get a candle. it and put it on our heart. It's all right, he's fine. Drake's born to be a circle person. Yay, he's gonna volunteer in about 18 years. Yeah. Then we're gonna talk about how our heart feels. Soren, would you like to share how your heart feels? You can always say no. Joy, would you like to share what? Hold the mic. How does your heart feel?
Drake,
Okay, it's Soren's turn. How's your heart feel? Should we wait? Are you ready? Here. Hold them.
wanna hear the longest joke?
The longest joke? Well, okay. What's
Knock, knock,
knock, knock,
banana.
banana,
Knock, knock, banana. Knock, knock, banana. Knock, knock, banana. Knock, knock. Banana. Knock, knock. Banana.
Next time you should say orange.
Banana who?
Banana who? Now we're gonna do orange. Ready? Knock, knock.
Banana.
We're gonna do orange because we do have the time.
Knock,
Okay, it's Soren's turn, so he's gonna finish. Orange.
banana.
Or I'm gonna say orange. Orange who?
Banana.
Banana. Now we're gonna do orange because we have other people who are waiting to share their heart.
That'd be a long time.
Well, if we only hear about, we only have about 5 more minutes left. So what do you think? Are we ready to move on? Let's start with how's your heart?
Only be 9 more times.
Oh, 9 more times. I think we're gonna move forward. And we'll come back to the knock knock when we finish banana. You want to try to do the orange? You want-
Well, I'll do the orange on the 16th.
Oh, 16th time. Okay, we'll come back, probably in circle classroom. Kiara, how's your heart feel? Would you like to share today? No? Joseph, would you like to share today how your heart feels? You can hold the mic yourself. Hold it up to your mouth.
Good.
Your heart feels, tell me why your heart feels good.
They're not short.
Oh, because you're at church. Let's do a woo-hoo on that one. Maria, you want to you want to share how your heart feels? And Nyela, right behind you.
My heart feels pretty good because I got a 3-day weekend today.
Ooh.
This weekend.
Woo-hoo!
I
Oh, that's dirt.
my heart is feeling pretty good.
No, Nyela's.
I get to have art tomorrow for school, so I'm excited.
Well,
Good. Thank you.
Leah feels good. Okay, now it's your turn to say how your heart feels. You have 2 microphones. How's your heart feel?
Knock, knock.
Does your heart feel knock knock? Okay, my friends, we are ready. I want to show you something. Where's our bear?
Don't forget our friends on Zoom.
How's your heart feel? Might have Ramona too. Ollie, how's your heart feel?
All right, it's time to talk. How's your heart feel?
Happy
Why does your heart feel happy, Ollie?
because that Uncle Fuzzy's here with me.
Thank you, buddy.
And we have our friend Ramona. Hi, Ramona. Good morning to you. Would you like to? Greg says, hi, how do you feel?
How are you feeling?
Sad
Sad.
Oh, can you say why you're sad?
because I've been sick with 2 sicknesses.
Because she's been
But-
sick with 2 sicknesses.
Oh, 2 sicknesses. Oh, dear.
The cold and a cough.
Oh, dear. That's not good. Well, thank you for joining us on Zoom. It's very good to see our friends in Zoom.
Job.
We are going to, oh, Ethel May, you're going to love this circle. You're going to love this circle because we are going to plant a tree.
Hey, how do you?
Now, what kind of tree, friend, are we going to plant? Doran says apple tree. Now, to plant an apple tree, here's the clue. What kind of tree? Apple tree. We're going to grow apple trees. What do we need? We need dirt. What else do we need? Water. What else? Trunk. Branches. We need, and apples. That's the leaf filled with. Okay. What we need are what's inside these apples? Seeds. We need seeds. So what we're going to do is, Lauren, can you pick out a couple seeds? Would you like to pick out the seeds? Pick the seeds out of the apple. So when we grow apple trees and we grow more apples, we get more seeds, then we get more apples and more seeds. And oh my goodness, this keeps going and going and going. Here, I put the dirt. Came from our compost pile. That's where we put our extra apple that we don't eat into a compost pile, and it makes good. So now we're going to put apple seeds into the dirt. Can we guys put apple seeds into the dirt? Oh, okay. More dirt. Okay. Let's put more seeds. Can you put the seeds in the dirt? Oh, put them in the dirt. We are growing apple trees from apples with seeds. And we're going to grow. Well, we're going to have a snack. Okay, my friends, we are going to grow apple trees. Woo-hoo, and grow more apples. Eat more apples. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, good. Thank you. We got about 6 seeds in there. So I know we probably you guys gonna run over a little bit today in the service. So have patience because kids. Okay, my friends, we're going to. Yeah. You guys want to do a bridge with Yvonne? Just hold her hand like a bridge. Okay, my friends, and we'll come back and clean this up. We're gonna let you get going on this service. You're welcome. Oh, thanks, Will, for finding my phone. May the Spirit of God surround you everywhere you may go.
Now's the time in our service to renew our bonds of community as we share our joys and sorrows. If you have a joy or a sorrow or a concern or a gratitude that you would like to bring to this loving community, I invite you to write it now, either in the chat if you're on Zoom, or on the pink slip in the teal hymnal if you're here in the room. Mugs with pencils in the aisles are there. And Zoomies, if it's not convenient for you to reach the chat, we'll give you a chance to unmute and say your joy or sorrow also. While you are thinking or writing, I will read a prayer written by today's guest speaker on video, Reverend Morgan McLean. She works for the UUA at the UN. I myself have always dreamed of working for the UN and of being a minister. So maybe in my next life, I could have her job. Her poem goes like this. A prayer for UN Sunday. We give thanks today for all that is our lives. On this day of thinking globally, we acknowledge the privileged comforts in which we live and vow again to be generous and grateful. Today, we pray for the earth and all of its creation. We feel the pain of our precious web of life, challenged by the human-made climate crisis. Today, we forgive ourselves for our contributions to the crisis and recommit to action on behalf of the water and the creatures and the plants and the people, struggling to breathe, failing to thrive, disappearing, and being displaced by the changing earth. Today, we honor the United Nations for the generations of coming together in a hurting world, working toward a vision of peace, equality, and dignity on a healthy planet. We give thanks for centuries of Unitarian Universalists who have honored the inherent worth and dignity of every person and brought us to this moment of our faith, prepared to work tirelessly for justice and a sustainable life for all. Let us not despair. Let us feel the strength of our community around us, rising in hope and action. Let us change the world. Our first message is from Laura Odermatt, who writes, we took a family road trip to Lassen last weekend. Drake especially liked the balling mud, or as he called it, mud potholes. Boiling mud, that's it. I see it's an I. Mud potholes. A joy for my dad, who turned 80 this week. Who's dad? Okay. Oh, sorry. Danny K writes a sorrow for Haiti that urgent needs may be met. From Ethel May. A joy. Sheila has returned from vacation in San Francisco with her son Ian. She had a great time and they met people and enjoyed sharing their birthday celebrations. She is doing well. And is with her daughter, Katie, picking up a new puppy in Merced. What have we here? Right. From Beth Dom back to everyone. We're not going to read that. Please keep me and my household in your thoughts as I begin the process of disentangling myself from the household in order to move back near my family in Pennsylvania. I'm looking forward to more time with family and the joy that will bring, but change is also challenging. Yes. I think that's probably it for today. Okay, that was that, and that was that. That was that. And now we will light one last candle for all the prayers and intentions that remain in our hearts unspoken. We hold them all, and we close with the prayer by Reverend Rebecca Parker. It's two hands that we recite together. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding you. There is a love holding all. We rest in that love. And now we'll have a reading from Mary Swain and then one from Mary Lou Schuler. Mary?
I pledge allegiance to the earth and all life by Reverend Vern Barnett. I pledge allegiance to the earth and all life, the fields and streams, the mountains and seas, the forests and deserts, the air and soil, all species and reserves, habitats and environments, one world, one creation, one home, indivisible for all, affected by pollution anywhere, depleted by any waste, endangered by greedy consumption, degradation by faithlessness, preserved by recycling, conservation, and reverence, the great gift renewed for all generations to come. Protected, preserved by reducing, reusing, recycling, with conservation and reverence, the great gift renewed for all generations to come.
This is For Nothing is Fixed by James Baldwin. For nothing is fixed forever and ever and ever. It is not fixed. The earth is always shifting. The light is always changing. The sea does not cease to grind down rock. Generations do not cease to be born, and we are responsible to them because we are the only witnesses they have. The sea rises, the light fails. Lovers cling to each other, and children cling to us. The moment we cease to hold each other, the moment we break faith with one another, the sea engulfs us and the light goes out.
Next, we will have our guest speaker on video, the Reverend Morgan McLean at the UN. Not many of us know that the UUA is celebrating 60 years at the United Nations. We've had an office there for the last 60 years. Here is her recorded sermon for today.
Climate force displacement is affecting communities in every part of the world. The UU office at the United Nations has been working with partners across the globe, hearing stories and learning ways that we might both prepare ourselves and advocate for others. Today, I invite you to listen to the stories and the new learnings with an open heart. It can be difficult to hold the impact of climate force displacement. I'm going to share more about our work and the actions that UUs and our partners are taking, as well as the things you can do today. Our Unitarian Universalist sixth principle calls us to build a world community with peace, justice, and liberty for all. Our partners in the Pacific Ocean nation of Vanuatu shared the effects of climate change in their community at our 2022 Multi-Generational Spring Seminar. Our speaker, Roma Beth Siri, explained that the climate crisis is causing impacts on fishing, saltwater inundation of underground water. In turn, they're seeing increasing food insecurity, and this and so much more is putting stress on the ability for the government and the social structures to be able to respond to the needs of the people. And that in turn is increasing the drivers of internal migration as people move from rural to urban areas. We've also spoken with our Unitarian Universalist siblings in faith in the Philippines, where there are 2 UU congregations who are watching the water come up to their village and to their church buildings. And they know that they are facing the need to move within just a few years. We have known for decades that rising global temperatures would lead to severe climate events, and we're beginning to experience those already, and the temperatures are still rising. Rising sea levels, flooding, extreme heat, drought, wildfires, and smoke and extreme weather events are resulting in unlivable land and entire populations needing to leave their homes. For so many communities, the threat of climate change is at the door, and they are rethinking how and where they can live or have already been forced to find safety. The floods in August of 2022 in Pakistan affected 33 million people. That's equivalent to the population of all the New England states, including New York. 7.6 million people have been displaced by those floods, according to the latest estimates. Across North America, we continue to see extreme weather events that are destroying homes and whole communities, threatening the safety of all of us. Personally, I've just moved to the Washington, D.C. area after living in Northern California for 6 years. There, the wildfires destroyed whole communities, and the smoke lasted for weeks at a time. In my home, all told in 2021, there were 6 weeks when the air quality was considered unhealthy for all groups. My family was privileged to have flexible jobs and savings in our bank account where we could drive for hours to escape the smoke. That smoke and from wildfires in Washington and British Columbia came together and stretched across the whole of Canada and the United States. On the East Coast, we see those hurricanes come in and flood and destroy whole communities. Hurricane Katrina was in August of 2005 in New Orleans, so many years ago now. And we understood after that our governmental response is not equal to all people, and that infrastructure has limits. We learned a city never fully recovers, and that finding new safe homes is a challenge. This year, the UU office at the UN joined other UU organizations, the UU Ministry for Earth, UU's for a Just Economic Community, Side with Love, UU's for Social Justice, and the UU Service Committee to issue a UU Statement of Commitment in response to climate forced displacement. I'd like to share just a few lines from that statement, and I hope you'll read it in its entirety and consider if your congregation might sign on. It reads, Unitarian Universalism is a faith tradition anchored in religious pluralism, the rhythms of nature, and the inherent worth and dignity of each person. The ongoing climate crisis challenges all of our core values as a faith tradition. Communities around the globe and in the U.S. are already facing the effects of climate destruction. Black, Indigenous, people of color, frontline, and other oppressed and marginalized communities who have done the least to contribute to climate crisis historically are facing the worst of its effects. Many of these communities have been displaced from their homes, and millions more will follow in the decades ahead. Climate displacement is already occurring around the world. Our leaders have a choice as to the pace at which it unfolds and the treatment of the people who endure it. We urge them to act now before even more people are deprived of their homes. Again, please read the whole statement and consider adding your congregation's name. For the UU office at the UN, these conversations are a top priority. In March of 2022, UN Secretary Antonio Guterres warned, "We are sleepwalking to climate catastrophe." And one important agreement from the 26th UN Climate Change Conference of the Parties, or COP26 in Glasgow, Scotland, was focusing on loss and damage. It was acknowledging that climate change is having increasing impacts on people, especially in the developing world, and countries agreed to strengthen a network known as the Santiago Network that connects vulnerable countries with providers of technical assistance, knowledge, and resources to address climate risks. Climate change is not currently recognized by the United Nations as a cause for someone to qualify as a refugee. So legal protections are needed on an international level to affirm the rights of these millions on the move. Even if refugees do find a home in another country, they are oftentimes found increased racist and xenophobic policies that make it difficult to thrive. While people are forced to move because of climate change, what happens to them after and whether or not they will find a safe environment to live is based on the effects from colonialism and current impacts of racism. The justice issues we face are intertwined. I know this is overwhelming and scary, and I don't want to be alarmist. Yet no matter where we are, the climate crisis will force us to evaluate our safety plan and what our response will be when the disaster comes to our door. Our partners on the ground tell us that we need to be prepared as individuals and as a community for what happens when the climate crisis causes displacement nearby. Do you have a personal disaster plan? Have you considered how you would leave and where you would go if flooding or smoke or extreme weather made your housing unsafe or unlivable? What would you lose? Who in your community would need extra help to ensure they are safe? These are the questions we must ask to prepare to protect ourselves and the people of our world community from climate-forced displacement. Unitarian Universalists have been taking action to protect the earth for decades, taking action to protect the people for decades, and this is the next step in our advocacy. Friends, there is action you can take today. The first is to take a deep breath. Go on, right now. Maybe one more. This is hard to hold, and we need to steady ourselves for the long haul. when you hear a news report about the floods in Pakistan or Nigeria, when you see stories of Florida rebuilding, when you walk out your door to the familiar haze of wildfire smoke, that is the moment for your spiritual practice. You might have a long developed practice, or you may just be hearing that phrase for the first time. Spiritual practice will ground you for what is to come. Maybe you pause for a solemn moment in acknowledgement of the people affected and the lives lost. Maybe you say a prayer. Maybe you go for a walk to reconnect with the beauty of creation, or maybe you make art or music. Maybe you journal about loss or about gratitude for what you have. Whatever it is that you do that connects you to something larger than yourself, do it. Do it. And then when your heart and mind is ready, you act. There are 2 letters you could sign today. The Unitarian Universalist Service Committee has a sign-on letter to tell President Biden to support climate justice at the UN. And our partners, the Pacific Island Students Fighting Climate Change, have a call to world leaders to vote yes on a UN General Assembly resolution to seek an advisory opinion from the International Court of Justice on climate change. After signing those letters, connect with Side of Love, the UUA's public advocacy, with one of their priorities being climate justice. They are helping UUs take action. Side with Love is committed to building communities of care in the face of climate disaster and have a webinar called Climate Resilience Through Disaster Response and Community Care. Keep learning, keep preparing. Unitarian Universalists have strong communities and strong networks across the globe. We are a resilient people and full of hope, and I know that our communities will be part of the solutions to come when we are called to action. Spiritual grounding and education and action move together in a cycle where we can name our fears and our hopes, continually deepen our own understanding, and expand the network of our care. This is our call for our world community as we face climate force displacement. Amen.
And stuff. Hard truths. Thank you, Reverend McLean. We will now pass the basket to receive the gifts of the congregation here in the room. If you're on Zoom or here in person, but prefer to contribute electronically, we have a donate button at starking.org/donate. If you're visiting for the first or second or third time over, please let the basket pass you by. You're our guest. Thank you for your generosity, ongoing commitment. I'm now going to read a litany for those lost to climate change by Reverend Erica Barron. At the end of each small section, I'll ask you to say, "We remember you." You don't get a slide for that. We now take the time to acknowledge those already lost as the world feels the effects of global warming and climate change. Thousands, sorry, I'll gesture. Thousands of people, as well as animals and plants, die every year from the effects of global climate change. And as we acknowledge those lost, we shall respond, "We remember you." Okay, sorry. Now I say, to all those people lost to extreme heat waves, we remember you. To all those people lost to floods, hurricanes, mudslides, and other disasters caused by changing weather patterns, we remember you. To all those people lost to hunger as crop patterns change, we remember you. To all those people lost to drought as weather patterns change, we remember you. To all those people lost to disease as the environment shifts, we remember you. To all those animals, siblings of flesh and blood, breath and bone, whose lives have been lost as global climate changes, we remember you. To all those plant spirits, siblings of the green world, whose lives have been lost as global climate changes, we remember you. To all those species lost forever as global climate changes, we remember you. We remember you, and we commit ourselves to restoring the balance. So may it be. Thank you. Now we will extinguish the chalice. Please join me in saying the words on the slide. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Closing words from Mary Lou and Mary Swain. You go first. I think I'll turn the page. Oh. I get it.
Committed to respond to the call of a wounded world. We join together this day with loving hearts, hands, and minds, embracing the interconnected web of water, air, and earth. We light a fire of sustaining hope, ever bright with love and justice.
May we bring forth this day new wisdom, strength, and courage to create a new world, not of wealth, but of well-being, a world of new peace and abundance for all. As we give thanks for this earth, our shared and singular home, may we dedicate ourselves to its ongoing care, rising to the calls deep within us and all around us. May we respond today and always with courage and love.
Our closing hymn is number 318 in the gray hymnal, "We Would Be One." Please rise as willing and able. 318. Many, many thanks. Many thanks to all who've helped, too many to name. Worship Associate Levon, Pianist Lindley, Bess and Joanna on tech, flowers from Leah. Special thanks to Reverend McLean. Looks like McLean, but it's McLean for her video message. And thanks everyone for coming, whether you're here in person or on Zoom. Let's switch to gallery view on the big screen and enable unmuting so we can greet each other one last time. And then we will have a couple of announcements, 3 actually, from Jennifer and Ben, and also from Beth Salway. Have so many Beths. We welcome everyone at home to join in conversation after service and people here to have coffee and conversation out on the front patio. If you're here in the building, we invite you to say hi in person to the folks on Zoom in the fellowship hall, as well as right here, right now. Jennifer. Thank you, Doris.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer. Those who don't know me. So I've got an invitation for you. And it's an invitation to a presentation immediately following church, about 15 minutes we'll have after the break, to talk about the 100,000 trees for humanity. We're starting a tree planting project in Hayward. And when I, thinking about the service in James Baldwin's quote, "It's not fixed," and thinking about that first hymn, "Transform the earth with our care," and that last comments about "we commit to restoring the balance of the earth." Now that we know, we are committed to action, and this is a direct local climate action that you can be involved in. So we'll let you know more about a presentation, the 100,000 trees for humanity. And ultimately, we're trying to plant 340,000 trees in Hayward in order to restore the tree canopy, improve the air, increase cooling and water, and ultimately focus on environmental justice and featuring BIPOC community led and bringing trees to those that are impacted first. So find out more at 11:45 when Amos White, who's the founder and chief planting officer of 100,000 trees for humanity, he'll be here and momentarily and doing a presentation. And I invite you to give it a look and participate with us as we plant trees in Hayward. Thank you so much.
Two things real quick. One, first is the UU Women's Federation is having a welcome gathering this week, 2 different days. And so there's a choice of days and times, and the times are a little bit strange because they're, it's supposed to work for different time zones. So Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, or Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. And the registration link is in the announcements email. Last thing before the photo of the week, right? Women and allies and co-conspirators are all invited. And you may recall in August, Antoinette Scully was a pulpit guest here, and she's one of their national organizers. So you're all invited to that. The other one is, I'm trying to figure out how to vote. And if anybody understands Alameda County Measure D, would you please explain it to me after worship? Thank you.
Okay. As many of you, hopefully most of you are aware, our upcoming auction event is in a couple of weeks. The last day to submit donation forms is October 28th. That's this Friday. That's in 5 days. So get your groove on. If you have a talent or a hobby, think of a fun way to share with others. Physical items are also welcome. If you have some nice furniture lying around your house that you don't want anymore, consider a donation.
This year's event is going to be a hybrid event. So there's both an online and an in-person component. We're going to use the same site we used in 2020, the Octria site. And there will be a week-long bidding starting on October 31st, Halloween, and running until November 5th. So everyone should receive an email invitation with that link. If you don't, please let us know. And then the live event takes place on Saturday evening, November 5th. So write it on your calendars. Starting at 5:30. Dinner will be at 6 out on the front patio. And then the live auction will be inside the sanctuary at 7:15. If you're not able to attend in person, you can tune in with Zoom. There's sheets on the back of everybody's chairs that have an RSVP form. Yes. If you haven't filled one of those out yet, please do so we can have a sense of how many people are coming to the event, how many people are going to want to Zoom to the event, so we can plan for food and bidding paddles and such. If you want to turn those in, this basket is going to be out in front of the coffee table. So you can put them there, and also the donation papers. Also, we do need some volunteers to help us with the event. If you're able to clean up or set up or help serve food or donate some wine or desserts. I've got a sign-up sheet that I'm also going to put out next to the table. So if you have something you're willing to share, you can sign up there. Or if you have questions, talk to Laura. Thank you.
Okay, it looks like everyone's wrapping up. So good to see everyone. You can feel free to unmute yourself.